New tricks? Or are they back again? I knew it. The 10 things of mystery are coming again after such a long while. Amber Street, Scatter. Yes, a long while indeed. A century ago. The widespread panic that inadvertently involved too many people finally came to an end. However, every single person involved, at least at the very moment, couldn't have foreseen something. You're not really cut out for this job, are you? Be serious. I used code name during operation. I've said it countless times. What's the current situation? It's hard to describe. About the great panic happening in this neighborhood, things are more complicated than you think. And you're clearly ignoring my suggestion earlier to get away from here. Given the situation, I want to ask you something before we set out. Why did you join Lantern? Good pay. At least I won't be out of work, except for dying in action. Oh, come on. Unavoidable damages takes forever to get reimbursed. Besides, there's no way for you to pay off your debt you've piled up. It shouldn't be much of a concern. As long as Lantern exists, the debt can hang over my head forever. And before that, you would just scrape by, borrowing here and there, barely making ends meet. But at least, we're undeniably fighting against evil, aren't we? The 10 things of misery doesn't carry any sense of positive value. I'm doing the right thing. That's all I need. You're burying the lead again. You want to change the world, right? Within Lantern, both you and I are ordinary, easily replaceable. That's human nature, nothing to complain about. But oddly enough, compared to real ordinary folks, you possess a bit of talent. Not really. I'm not praising you. Actually, I think that's where the problem lies. I feel having some talent but not enough is more tormenting than having no talent. You're discontent with your mediocrity, thinking that even if this tiny bit of talent can only make the slightest difference, just by handling everything to the best of your ability, you can make small but meaningful changes to this world. By your own hand. Are you trying to bare my soul here? We may not be regular partners, but we've met on missions. Do you really think I'm that naive? Because deep down, you and I are just the same kind, just walking with our heads down, without ever looking up at the sky. You. Let's not jump to conclusions. Even if I am as you think, what exactly do I need to change? That's where you and I differ. I have specific enemies. Having understood the nature of Lantern, I know I don't have the power to completely change it, but I still do my best within the limit of the rules. That's why I've come here, to deceive those who have died here, turning them into traitors for the organization and facilitating their escape. What did you say? Never mind. Continuing like this will only make you more puzzled. It'll be a while before the battle results is revealed. Let me take you for a walk in the meantime. While I know it's impossible to convince you to leave, I still want to give it a try. Is that lantern from 100 years ago? She seemed quite spirited.
所以
So our
我们
plan
这边
here
的
is
计
going
划
rather
也
smoothly.
算进行的相当顺利。
Yes, the
时
timing
机
is
正好。
perfect.
既然暂时见不到
Given
其
that
他
the other
树，
Shus are
那么
nowhere
唯
to
一
be
的手
found
段
now, the
就
only
是利用她
option
自
is
己
to
的
use
道路。
her own path.
虽然只是猜
Though
想，
it's a mere
但她的
speculation,
力量
her
来
power
源应该也和其他
likely
树一样，
originates from
只
the
是表
same
现方式有
source
所
as
差
the
异。
other Shus, albeit in
也
different
就是
forms.
说，她也一定和
Which
立
means
汤斯
she
特一样，
must also be
有
subject
某
to
种
some kind of
我们
rule,
遵从的规
just
则。
like Li Toast.
原来如
I
此，
see. Only
我们只要
by
能清楚这一
figuring
点，
out
面对她的时候
that
才
can
不至
we
于那么被动。
avoid being passive when confronting her. Yes, but given her
但鉴于她的性
personality,
格，
if we want to find
要想知道
out
破
what
局究竟是
destruction
怎么一
truly
回事，
means, we'll
大概
probably
也只
have
能
to
直接看看她的过
look
去。
directly into
生
her
物这个陈
past.
学姐是怎么说服多尼戈尔的？
I wonder
她
how
说，
Chen Xue
如果殉
persuaded
死是
Dong
必须真
Nigui.
心诚意的
If
想要死
sacrifice
亡，
means a genuine
那
willingness
破
to
气
die, could
会不会是
destruction
必
be
须不断
something
攻
like
击别人之
constantly
类的？
attacking
只有不
others?
停给自己树
To
立敌人，
maintain her
才能立
Shu's
住我之后
power,
的力
she
量。
has
不然，
to
她
constantly
又怎么
find
会一直追着我们
enemies.
不放？而且一点都
Otherwise,
理
why
都不
would
讲。
she chase after us?
你说的这种可能性，
That seems
虽然
reasonable
在
in
你蠢
terms
这
of
一层面上很
foolishness,
合理，
but foolish in
但是在
terms
合
of
理这一层面上很
reasonability.
愚蠢。不过，
Speaking of
话说
which,
回来，
they mentioned the
刚
Amber
才他们
Street
似乎
Great
提到
Panic
了
just now.
琥珀街大恐慌。如果我没
If
记
I'm not
错，
mistaken,
当时
you
松
were
雀
there
是不是也
too.
在场？
Do you know anything about that
你知道
incident,
些什么
Song
吗？
Chue?
啊，
Me?
咱呀，
That happened over 100 years ago, and my memory isn't that great. Alright, what about
不是说的那个
Lantern?
100年
Not
前
the
的，就
organization
是
from
即
100
便和
years
咱们够
ago,
着
but
的
the
那个东西，
Lantern we confronted
她应该也
today.
一起进到这
She
里
must
来
have
才对
entered
吧？
here too.
或
Yes,
许
maybe she's
她正在
scouring
四
the
处寻
area
找
to
呢。
find
说
us.
出来，
Then
我
we
还是和
better
你
move
跟上
quickly
吧，
to catch
把
up.
你跟丢
It
了就不
wouldn't
好
be
了。
good if we
道
got
理
caught.
确实是这样
So
啦。
it would seem. Let's hope we
希
have
望
better
咱们
luck
这次
this
运气
time
好一
and
些，
don't end up
不
like
要再像之
before,
前那
getting
样
caught
落
up
在
in
这
some
卡当
strange
中被卷入
danger
什么
inside
奇怪
this
的危
box.
险里。
From Lantern's perspective,
这些都
these
好，
lanterns
我们
have
在
been
这里牺
sacrificed
牲
so
这么
many
多人手
people
吗？
here. Yes,
但
but
你
do
知
you
道
know
他们
why
因
they
何而
died?
死吗？
因为他们明白，
Because they understood
即便是已
that
经无望的局
even
势，
in a hopeless
他们也
situation,
必须做些什
they
么。
still had to do something.
恰恰相反，
Quite the opposite.
是
It
有
was
其他人认
because
为
someone else
这些人
believed
的命
that these people's
可以
lives
用来
could
做
be
些什
used for
么。
something.
我就直说了吧，
Let me be frank.
他们
Their
今天来
primary
到这里
goal for
最
being
重
here
要的目
today
的，
wasn't to
并
fight
不
the
是对
ten
抗这
faces
个
of
实相，
misery,
而是以
but
灯的名
rather,
义
in the
围
name of
堵
the
一个
Lantern
凡人。
organization, they
顺带一
besieged
提，
an ordinary
我
person.
们出动的人手
By the way,
是全
organization
部。
sent everyone on this mission. She's still
他还活
alive.
着，
Yes,
但
but
不用
let's
多管闲
not
事了。
meddle further.
虽然不
Although
知道是
I'm
哪
not
一
sure
位，
who she
但
is,
她身上
the
残留着
aura
兽的
of
气息。
Shu still lingers on her.
我是说，
I mean, she's not going to
死不了。
die. We
我们
don't
不
have
必
to
停下来
stop
再
and
帮
lend
她
her a
吧。
hand. In
事实上，
fact, you're even
你
less
比我更不
suited
适合
for
做
this
这一
job
行，
than I am,
对吧？
aren't you?
虽说
Witnessing these broken
目睹这些
lanterns
残灯
is no
和
different
目
from
睹自
seeing
己
the
同伴的
corpses
尸
of
首
our comrades. It's
感到
only
恐
natural
惧
to
是理
feel
所应当。
fear.
但既然我
But
们
as
是灯
a
的人，
member of the
这
lantern,
反倒
we
并不应
shouldn't
该。
show fear.
用不着你
No
提
need
醒。
for you to remind me.
你之前那些话是什么
What
意
did
思
you？ mean when you
我一个
mentioned
凡人。
earlier about besieging an ordinary person?
简单来
Simply
说，
put,
在
tonight
今
on
晚的
Amber
火锅
Street,
界，
someone was
有一个
preparing
人
to
正准备以他
completely
非凡的天
subdue
资
the ten faces of
彻底
misery
降服
with
这
their
个世界。
extraordinary talents.
据说，
It is said that
他
his
的作
action
为
would
将会让
transform
影子如
shadows
电与
into
火一
tools
般
for
完全成为
humanity,
人类的工
just
具。
like electricity and fire.
听起来离谱
The
至极，
idea sounds extremely
但灯相信
far-fetched,
他的
but
确能够
Lantern
做到。
believes she could do it.
所以今
So
天，
today, they
他们
launched a
向每个人
surprise
发起
attack
了
on
一场突
him,
袭，
aiming to
意在
seize
将
all
所有
his
生物
achievements for
据为
themselves.
己有。
The organization opposing shadows has decided to take control of the shadows. Don't play dumb, Safari. You've known it all along. All the lanterns' research originates from the shadows. At the same time, an organization's reputation often depends on its adversaries. Perhaps from the very day of its inception, Lantern could no longer separate itself from calamities like the 10 Faces of Misery. She suddenly realized the purpose of today's mission, not for eradicating calamities, but seizing complete control of the shadows. The order we received was to exterminate that person, in other words, to aid in tyranny, allowing shadows to continue existing in the form of calamities. Don't you understand? Fear, its original and most fundamental purpose, is for domination. After all, being feared is much safer than being loved. We often hear about hate born from love, but we rarely witness courage born from fear. That's why I want to show you this place. To see what kind of price we pay to ensure that a certain calamity doesn't simply disappear. Okay, let's stop here. The place ahead is not somewhere I have the courage to enter. Without today's mission, no one knows if Lantern will succeed, but chances are everything will go smoothly. I believe you're very familiar with all our researchers. Our opponent today, no matter how smart, is just a mere mortal. And yet, to deal with this one person, the order we received was for everyone to be deployed. You can imagine just how peculiar the goal of this mission must be. I don't want to be dragged into anything, so I haven't told anyone the truth before. I came up with all sorts of excuses, hoping to make them retreat in face of difficulty, so they wouldn't die in vain. But for you, I know I wouldn't have any chance to stop you if I didn't tell you the truth. Why is that? Because you're a patient, a peculiar patient. Haven't you ever noticed it yourself? Some habits you have with carrying out tasks. Unnecessary radical decisions, meaningless relentless pursuit, an impatient core beneath the facade of decisiveness. That's quite common. Working in a unique place like Lantern, these are necessary qualities. I must do something. Yes, that's exactly why so many people are dying here and now. And that's exactly why, just before I fact, I want to try to save you out of envy. Envy? Me? Yes, I envy your peculiarity, your flaws. I've mentioned having specific enemies, be they the 10 Faces of Misery or Lantern itself. In fact, when I learned about today's mission, I felt like it has to do something too, but I soon realized that the enemies I had chosen were impossible to defeat. As you can see, I've given up now. But you're different. When you feel the urge to fight, you don't know exactly what you're fighting against. You only know that by using your limited talents and putting in a little effort, things might shift towards a better outcome. So you can't stop yourself until you also become one of those broken lanterns. You're walking an endless road, Safari. It's as if you're treating the entire world as your opponent, declaring war on all existence indiscriminately. No
知道
one
你描
knows
述
if
的
I'm
那种
right
未
or
来成真
wrong
之前，
until the future you
就没有
describe
人知道
become
我说的是错
reality.
的，还是说
Or
仅
are
仅
you
因为我们
changing
和
your
懂互
mind
联的那些
because you
人
think
彼此
we're
微不足道，
insignificant
也就改变
compared
自
to
己的
those
看
who
法，
control
不再觉
Lantern?
得一手一脚
You
一
no
点
longer
一滴地
believe
去把
that
它们
every
做
little
成，
step matters
他觉
and
得
think
真
that
正的
real
改变
change must be
是为彼
achieved
此更
in
为
one
有益
single
的。
move.
很遗憾，
Unfortunately,
唯一
yes.
个不能改变些什么的人而
For
言，
someone who can't make a
寄
difference
希望于他
themselves,
人创造奇
relying
迹，
on
让
others
世
to
间
create
险恶
miracles
危
is
机
more
受到改变。
practical.
结
I've
果
said so
会很
much.
快就要出
The
来，
outcome is likely to be
无论
revealed
它最终
soon.
是什么
No
样子，
matter what it turns out to
继续
be,
待下去
it's
都很危
risky
险。
for me to
所以
stay here.
先暂离增
So,
强。
what's your opinion now? I need to do something.
我必须做些什么。
As
一秒之中，
expected.
那祝
Well
你好
done.
运。
Good luck. As a
我
colleague,
还以为
I
作为
thought
同
you'd
僚，
whisk me
你会
away
像
to
那种烂
save
俗
my
的君莫
life,
一样，为了
like
保住
one
我
of
的
those
性命，
cheesy
强行把我带
dramas.
走的。
首先，
First of all,
我其实
I
打不
can't
过
beat you
你。
in
其
a
次，
fight.
我也
Secondly,
不想
I
亲
don't
手
want to be
杀
the
死
one
你。
to kill you.
一定要去做些
You
什
have
么，
to do
哪
something,
怕自始
even
至
if
终都
it's
没有目
without
的。
effort,
那
from
的
the
确是你
beginning to
生活的
end.
方式。从这个角度来看，
It's truly your way of
放
life.
任你自寻死
Allowing you
路，
to seek your own
似乎才算
demise
尊
might
重
be
你的人
considered
格。
respecting
所
your
以，
personality.
告辞。
So, farewell.
奇
How
怪，
strange.
在
Can't
离
you
开之
tell me
前，
one more thing
你就
before
不
you
能告诉我
leave?
一件事吗？你
Who
究
exactly
竟
are
是
you?
哪位？直说了吧。
Let's be
我大概是
honest,
见过
you've
真正的
probably
斯
seen
卡
the
特，
real
虽然模仿
Scudder.
得惟妙惟肖。
It's fair to say your
不过说这种
imitation
模
is so
仿相似的
close
人，
that
就像刚才
even
那样敞开心扉的对
the
话，
conversation about
在不
bare
久
your
之前
soul
刚刚
had
发生过一次。
happened not long ago. Scudder
他曾经
once
动摇了
had
一件
his
心灵，
mind connected,
因此暴露
thus
了自己内心
exposing
所有
all
的
her
真实想
genuine
法。
thoughts and
所以，
feelings. So
刚才所有的
everything we
一
just
切，
discussed,
包括这一
including
系
the
列任何
purpose
目的，
of the
我
missions,
早就想知
I've
道。
already known it all.
他根本
He
没
had
有
no
任何理
reason
由
to
再
repeat
重复一
it.
次。不如说，从一
Rather,
开始，
from the very beginning,
我就只是
I
想
was
从你这
simply
里
trying to
套出某
extract
些
certain
价值
value
吧。
from you.
哦，
You knew the
明知真
truth,
相，
but came
却
here
还是来到这
anyway.
里吗？
我说过了，
As I said,
我必须
I
做
must
些
do
什么。
something. Well, just like all my other
就和
failures,
我所有的失败一样，我
once again, a
总
slight
归逃不过
oversight
一
in my
句
meticulous
爱
plan.
你一书啊。
Then,
那么，虽说我们在
while
此
our
相见
meeting
并非
here
巧
may not be
合，
coincidental,
但您也和他们
like
一样，
them,
是为杀
are
死
you
在
also
下而来。
here to kill me?
上次那个空中跑步的视频，还是多亏了你的那台无人机，不然我肯定拍不好。
Masquerade Corridor, Admission Qualification Review 2. Time. Recorded by Ivy. Visitors' particulars. The woman aged around 25. She wore an ill-fitting gown. She was lanky but had strong limbs. She carried a huge backpack which, upon inspection, contained a total of 10 oil paintings. She told me that, like many applicants, she threw her reference letter into the courtyard from the outside. In the past 3 months, people like her have created a large amount of trash for me to clean. I politely relayed Lady Selima's message to her. My estate is not a shelter. Uncultured people will be kicked out. But since she qualified for screening, I took her to the interview room anyway. Conversation transcription. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Lady Selima. I'm Fiona, a painter from Lanqiu. I heard you're looking for guests to come to your banquet, and I believe my artistic expertise will add luster to it. Well said, but I'm afraid you cannot do that by talking alone. Please rest assured that I've brought my paintings. Please take a look. The visitor showed her paintings. I do not have the eye to appreciate paintings, but Lady Selima studied them very closely. Ooh. What do you think? Very tasteful. The brushwork, composition, and coloring are all exceptional. It's just that. Yes? You borrowed this gown, didn't you? Gown? You mean my clothes? The canvas is neat, but has the bristles of an old brush stuck to it. The gown is gorgeous, but doesn't match your figure. Local painter Fiona. I've never heard of this name in a gallery. I don't hate lies. I just found them dull and pointless. To be honest with me, are you a painter? I'm sorry, Lady Selima, I lied to you. I'm only an apprentice. My parents were killed by the shadows, and I was taken in by their friends. They're so kind to me. They don't know much about art, yet let me live with them for free. I borrowed this gown from the hostess to look more credible. Also, to show my respect for you, Lady Selima. I heard you want aristocrats that you recognize. Lady Selima laughed. Very well. Go on. Becoming a painter is my dream. For that, I painted day and night. I believe I have the talent, and you acknowledge that. In the masquerade corridor, I'll have more opportunities to actualize my potential. So please give me this chance. I see. To be honest, I don't hate people like you. However, you must answer one question. Please ask. Do you think the aristocrats that I recognize need to earn their own living?
逃不掉的。就在那里，就在那里。太高了，到此为止。赴我狂宴，与我同欢。还算有点意思。逃不掉。就在那里。逃不掉的。坏孩子们都在哪里呢？那就没意思了，对吧？逃不掉的。
Wish granting part. Artifact code. Curio class 23. Artifact name. Wish granting part. Appearance. A small pot made of campfire cinnabar clay, origins and age unknown, comes with a lid that stubbornly refuses to budge, despite numerous attempts. Details: 1. Acquired by a young man named Josh from Amber Street during a routine fear-gathering expedition. Josh suffered from severe hydrophobia, making drinking water a challenge. He desperately sought a source of drinkable water he could trust. According to his family, the pot, while in Josh's possession, was empty inside, with the lid being the only enigma, firmly sealed shut. 2. The second owner of the pot was a somewhat famous fortune teller from Langqiu, more skilled in deceit than divination, as is often the case in Amber Street. Sensing an opportunity, she quickly acquired the pot from Josh's household with a few favors. 3. Shortly after changing hands, rumors of a magic pot began spreading in Amber Street. While the trick seemed straightforward, upon deeper reflection, it proved baffling. The performer, the fortune teller mentioned earlier, held only the pot, the same one, in hand, nothing else. Then she randomly picked audience members who freely chose any liquid, water, tea, anything. Remarkably, regardless of the liquid chosen, the performer would always pour it from the pot effortlessly. What made this trick truly astonishing was the seamless continuous flow of various liquids without any preparation time. Initially, the audience stuck to typical drinks, but some mischief makers tried to stump the performer with requests for boiling oil or mud. Yet, the fortune teller rose to the challenge effortlessly. As boiling oil and mud gushed from the teapot, the audience was both amazed and amused. Soon, they noticed something astonishing. The amount poured far surpassed the pot's capacity. Soon, someone thought they were clever and demanded to inspect the pot, convinced it had some clever mechanisms. They were left disheartened as the firmly sealed lid defied all attempts to open it. Eventually, everyone had to admit defeat, and the magic pot became the talk of the town. Of course, the fortune teller was just an ordinary person. The true marvel lay within the pot itself. 4. Through a small scheme, I acquired the pot from the fortune teller. Details omitted. 5. In recent days, this pot has become an invaluable resource for me in crafting magical artifacts, its endless content proving indispensable. If an ordinary person were to obtain this pot, they might try various ways to make it pour out exquisite beverages to satisfy their desires. Yet, someone has already proven to me that as long as it's a liquid form, even if it's not typically a liquid substance, it can be poured out, such as rare and precious metals. Moreover, no matter the temperature, this pot remains indestructible, a rule I verified when attempting to open the lid. Based on the current investigations, it appears we can draw a conclusion. Curio Class 23 Wish-Granting Pot has the ability to pour out any liquid desired by the holder. However, the specificity of its limits remains to be explored. For example, if I say, please pour out a harmless elixir that allows me to see things I've never seen before, can this pot fulfill it? It seems worth a try. I have seen it.